Hey everyone, welcome to the Age. We are under trigonometry and we are continuing with solving trigonometric equations, specifically the angles, right? So here we are given the following equation, and we know that with general solution, what we want to aim for first before solving the angle, we want to get down to a single trigonometric ratio. So meaning that we only want to deal with either just sine, cos, or tan. In this case, we have both sine and two coses, right? We only want to deal with one. We want to isolate one either on the left hand side or the right hand side. And so in this case, we can see that we have two, both sine and cos. So yeah, if we look at the situation, which one do we want to isolate? Do we want to only get down to the cos or the sine? Okay, let's evaluate the situation. So looking at these three terms that have the cos and the sine, let's look at the one on the right hand side, this one. It's only cos b, right? And then on the left hand side, we have sine squared b and cos 2b. Out of the three, which one can we not change, or which one looks simplified? I would say the cos b. Cos b, we cannot somehow manipulate it. There's no special formula for it that we can use to change that, right? When we look at cos 2b, this 2b over here suggests that this is a double angle, and we can change double angles. Double angles have different forms, right? So there's a double angle for cos 2 angle indeed. And here we do have cos 2b. And then for sine squared b, we can also change it. There is a trigonometric identity that says sine squared angle plus cos squared angle is equal to 1, right? And if we isolate sine squared angle, we're going to get 1 minus cos squared angle. So seeing that, okay, this one over here on the right hand side, the cos b, we cannot change. We want to end up with only cos then, since these other ones we can change, and these other ones we want to change that, we're only going to be dealing with cos. Since this one on the right hand side we cannot change, it's simplified. So we want to stick to the one that, okay, we can see that we cannot change it, so let's change the other ones that can be changed to a single trig ratio, and in this case we want to deal with only cos. So for sine squared angle, in our case sine squared b, if we change it, it's going to be 1 minus cos squared b. So in this equation we're only going to end up with a cos and no longer a sine. At cos 2b, we have three forms over here. So we want to pick the one that only has cos, and we can see that it is going to be this one. So having said all of that, let us go ahead and change these two trigonometric expressions, right? So for sine squared b, using this form, we're going to end up with 1 minus cos squared b plus 4. This compound angle, cos 2b, we're using this one, this form. So it's going to be 2 cos squared b minus 1, right? Is equal to minus 4 cos b plus 3. Like we established, we cannot change this cos b. It's just as is. So expanding out, 4 minus 4 cos squared b plus 8 cos squared b minus 4 is equal to minus 4 cos b plus 3. And then further simplifying, you can see that this 4 is going to cancel with this 4. We're going to be left with, on the left hand side, just 4 cos squared b. And if we transpose the ones on the right hand side, it's going to be positive 4 cos b minus 3 is equal to 0. So as you can see now, okay, we're only left with cos. It's only one trig ratio. That is perfect. And we need to factorize this. So if we say that cos b is equal to x, we can just say 4x squared plus 4x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now it looks easy to the eye, right? If we factorize here on the side, it's going to be 4x squared minus 3 plus 4x xx 2 2 3 1 positive negative here, cross multiply, 6x minus 2x. So minus 2x plus 6x is indeed going to be 4x. So we can use these brackets over here. And if we substitute x to cos b, it's going to be, back to cos b, it's going to be cos 2 cos b minus 1, another bracket, 2 cos b plus 3 is equal to 0, right? And so we know that we can say 2 cos b minus 1 is equal to 0, or 2 cos b plus 3 is equal to 0. Isolating the cos b's for both, we're going to get cos b is equal to half on the other side. On the other side, it's going to be cos b is equal to minus 3 over 2. Okay, so let us solve the angle for this one first. If we pull out our calculator, ref angle is equal to, in your calculator, shift cos a half is going to be 60 degrees. This is our reference angle. Then the second step, we get to our cos diagram, cos. So in which quadrant is cos going to be positive? It's going to be at its quadrant, at the C quadrant, the cos quadrant, and just the O quadrant, right? Where and then it's going to be negative and negative. So we are not working with these quadrants. We are not working with the sine and the tan quadrant. We're only working with the C and the A quadrant. At the A quadrant, its form is just reference angle. And then at the cos quadrant, it's 360 degrees minus reference angle. So we're going to use these two forms, but we already have the reference angle on its own. So the first solution here is going to be B is equal to 60 degrees plus k dot 360. Don't forget the k dot 360, and then you say k is elementary to z. The second solution is equal to 360 degrees minus reference angle, which is 60, plus k dot 360 degrees, which is equal to 300 degrees plus k dot 360 degrees. So we have two solutions for this first one. Cool. And then for this one, B is just undefined. Even if you're checking your calculator, just say shift cos. You can even type in the whole fraction, including the negative. Even if you exclude the negative just to get the reference angle, it's still going to give you an error. The trick that I always see, even without using a calculator, is that for sine and cos, the numerator has to be less than the denominator. In this case, the numerator is greater than the denominator, right? But if the numerator was less than the denominator, there was going to be a solution. It wasn't going to be undefined. And so that is the trick in which I can see it. And so we're only going to be left with these two solutions over here for cos b is equal to a half, whereas the other one is just undefined. But even here, you have to write that the angle is undefined, or you can just say no solution if you don't want to write undefined, right? And yes, that is how you go ahead and solve this trigonometric equation. Thank you.